Hello everyone, I'm Molly. Today I'd like to talk about some information of software testing. I'll start by looking at the introduction, including the definition of software testing, why we need it, and an example of what will happen if it exists the lack of testing before we publish the software, or we call it product. And next, I'll take a look at software methods, and then I'll concentrate on the software testing tools, and the last part is my conclusion. Okay, let's move on to the next part. The introduction. First one is the definition of software testing. For the understanding of my own in software testing, it is a method which helps the software to ensure their correctness, completeness, and quality. And why we need software testing? Well, because without the testing, it will have a huge number of serious bugs in the developing software and may lead them to fail. Such as example I'd like to show you. This is a really typical example, and we can achieve lots of experiments from it. This example is the bug of Lion King animated storybook CD, published by the Disney Company in 1994. In that year, the Disney Company utilized a huge number of methods to advertise it, and then some negative news came. When children bought it, and they realized that this game could not operate on their PC, and later the Disney Company paid a big price. The reason is, with the lack of testing in different types of PC, these kinds of game just could only operate in a handful system, such as the system which developed this game. So in that case, we can see the negative influence that without testing, and we also can achieve some knowledge that the importance of that. Okay. Next, let's move on to the next part, testing method. I'd like to talk about some the part of testing method. We can see here we have 3 different testing techniques: black box testing, gray box testing, and white box testing. In the group study, everybody searches some information about gray box testing, because this kind of technique is new for all of us. And I searched some information about black box testing, and the knowledge of white box testing I learned from other group members, Tina and Kam. Let's start with the black box testing. Black box testing, basically it is kind of functional testing. Its granularity is low, and in this picture we can see it's just focus on analyzing fundamental aspects only, and no proofs of internal working. And the testing is based on the external exception, and the internal behavior of the program is ignored. That's all the things I'd like to talk about the black box testing. And next one is gray box testing. Gray box testing is a combination of black box testing and white box testing, and its granularity is medium, but it's higher than the black box testing. In this picture, we can see it has some partial knowledge of internal working, not just focus on the external. And the test design is based on high-level database diagram, flow diagrams, internal states, and knowledge of algorithm and architecture. This is the information for the gray box testing, and let's move on to the last one, white box testing. Well, white box testing, it takes into account the internal mechanism of a system or component. The granularity of it is high, and we can see the function of white box testing in this picture clearly. It is just focus on the internal working, and all the external work of this program or component is ignored. So that's all. And okay, and another thing I need to talk about of the white box testing is that it is suited for algorithm testing. That's all the thing I'd like to talk about in the testing tools, in the testing method. Next part of testing tools. In this respect, our group have the two of them to learn. Andrew, Troy, and I focused on Selenium, and Tina and Cam, they paid attention to Cucumber. Firstly, I'd like to talk about some fundamental concepts of Cucumber. Cucumber is a behavioral-driven development testing tool, and it executes plain test, functional description as an automatic test. And the Cucumber itself is written by Ruby, and it also supports acceptance testing, agile testing, automatic testing, and etc. And more importantly, the Cucumber is also a very useful tool for the white box testing. Okay, and now let's move on to Selenium. In Selenium, we have 3 team members, just as I thought before. And Andrew, he found 2 very useful Selenium IDE tutorial video on YouTube, and they are really clear to understand and to handle the basic, how to use the Selenium IDE in the basic role. And it's really easy to understand what things we need to do while using Selenium IDE. And Tuan, he helped me to understand some basic knowledge of Selenium and the Selenium IDE, and all the button, the function of the button on the platform. Selenium is a portable software testing framework for web application, and it has 3 main components, and they are Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, and Selenium Grid. And in the next few minutes, I'd like to show you how Selenium works and test in the web application. So we can move on that.
Okay, now I'd like to talk about some basic work on Selenium IDE. Basically, Selenium IDE is a plugin of Firefox browser, and it has a recording feature which will keep account of user actions as they are performed and store them as a reusable script to playback. You can use Selenium IDE to do some automated tests for web application, and we can download Selenium IDE on seleniumhq.org, and we can see this is a website of seleniumhq.org, and we just click this download, and we can see Selenium IDE here. The latest released version is 2.5.0. Just click this and it will be downloaded, and you can install it in the Firefox. I have already done it in this PC, so I can move on to the next part. We can go tools. Sorry for the language. This is the tools. We can see Selenium IDE here, And when you click it, and it will appear an extra new window, and that is the Selenium platform. Okay, this is the Selenium platform, so we can see that. For the basic information in this platform, the first one is this red button. It is record, and if you click it, it will be recording, and if you click it again, it will stop recording. So make sure it is clicked for recording before you test the website. Okay, now we can see these three: the comment, target, and the value entry field. They display the currently selected comment along with its parameters. Okay, that is all the basic information I'd like to talk about in this platform. And now I'd like to show you how Selenium IDE works and test in the basic way. I just choose our university's website, our MIT University website, to test. And before I do this test, it is necessary to mention one important thing. It is you have to input or copy the URL of website which you would like to test into the Selenium IDE's platform in this site basic URL, and then you can test the website. Otherwise, Selenium IDE cannot test the website you want to. So you need to make sure the website URL in the basic URL. And because I tested before, so we can see the URL of our MIT website here on this label. And if you use these tools as the first time, this area will be empty. So you need to make sure that the URL in the basic URL. Okay, let's start to do some tests. Before I need to click it and make sure it is recording. Okay, now it's recording. Okay, so we can click something in the home page of MIT University, such as click Live at MIT, and this can give you some information about our university, such as why you choose MIT. And we can go button and click why you choose MIT, and they will give some explanation and something else about why you choose MIT. And now we can go move back to the university homepage. We can also search something. On the right, we can see the search feature. And we can input computer. Okay, and so we can see some feedback of the search. And now we can see here there are some comment and target and value. And this is one of advantage of Selenium IDE. It provides the function of autocomplete for all common Selenium commands. So we don't worry about when we test the website and we need to write down something or to check something is missing or not. Selenium IDE, it will record all the things you do when you test the website. So okay, I think there are no more things I need to test, so we can move back to the home page, and we can end our test. Okay, and now you can see we can click this button and to play the current test case. Selenium IDE is a record and basic tool. It is a record and playback tool, and the script format can be written in various languages. So we don't need to worry about something such as language skills or some type of that. So we can use this bottom end to show what we did before. Okay. Just play it. We can see all the things we did before. Okay, that is end. That is the test is end. So we can see that here runs is 1 and failures is 0. So the test is completely successful. Before I end this test, I'd like also to talk something about the disadvantage of Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE, it can only be used in Firefox because it is a plugin of a Firefox browser. So we just can use Selenium IDE in the Firefox browser. If you don't have Firefox browser, you can't use the Selenium IDE. The second one is it is not playing multiple windows when we record it. This is really easy to explain because Selenium IDE just can focus on one website to test. So it only records the actions that you did in the website you are testing. So it just can play back the test the website you test, and others Windows actions it can't record. And this is all the information I'd like to talk about in the Selenium IDE in these tools. And okay, let's go back to finish this video. The last part is my conclusion. It means that what I have learned in this course. Okay,
this is the conclusion that what I have learned. So far in this course, I have learned lots of things in software testing, including the concept of software testing, testing method, testing type, testing process, and more useful is the testing tools. I can understand how to use Selenium IDE to test. And we can see in this slide there are two more important things I'd like to show you that what I have learned from this course. The first one is software testing is developing. When the programming techniques is developing, and the technique of software testing is developing as well, for the sake of providing more perfect, accurate, and systematic testing method and testing tools to ensure software can publish and operate successfully. And in this respect, we can understand that software testing plays an increasingly important role in the development of software engineer. Okay. In the group study, when we search some specific knowledge in each aspect, we can see the same keyword, testing tools. That is the second one I'd like to talk about. Using testing tools to do testing work is a tendency. Well, using testing tools to do the testing work, it not only can enhance the precision, but also it can return feedback as soon as possible. Therefore, people are able to achieve more time to check the problem of the program. And this is the end of my video. This is a reference list about the testing methods picture, and thank you very much.